It was a crisp spring afternoon in Cherry Grove Park. The laughter of children echoed through the air, and bicycles whizzed along the pathways. Amidst all the bustle, a tiny, fuzzy creature crouched beneath a shady bush, heart pounding. Nearby, Milo, a fluffy little Pomeranian with a caramel coat and a curious nose, trotted happily along the trail with his owner. His leash was loose, and his fluffy tail wagged like a tiny flag in the breeze. But as they passed the bush, Milo froze mid-step. His keen senses had picked up on something, the faintest sound of a whimper. He tilted his head, sniffing the air, and before his owner could stop him, he slipped out of his harness and bolted toward the undergrowth. What Milo found made his little heart ache. The baby rabbit was trembling, its wide eyes swimming with fear. Milo tilted his head, giving a soft, comforting bark, but the bunny flinched and backed away. It wasn't just lost, it was scared of him too, ears twitching. A baby rabbit, no older than a few weeks, had accidentally wandered far from its burrow. Now, lost and terrified, it shrank into the shadows, overwhelmed by the chaos of the world around it. Nearby, Milo, a fluffy little Pomeranian with a caramel coat and a curious nose, trotted happily along the trail with his owner. But as they passed the bush, Milo froze mid-step. His keen senses had picked up on something, the faintest sound of a whimper. He tilted his head, sniffing the air, and before his owner could stop him, he slipped out of his harness and bolted toward the undergrowth. What Milo found made his little heart ache. The baby rabbit was trembling, its wide eyes swimming with fear. Milo tilted his head, giving a soft, comforting bark, but the bunny flinched and backed away. It wasn't just lost, it was scared of him too. Milo knew he had to tread carefully. The Pomeranian lowered himself onto his belly, making himself small and less threatening. Slowly, he let out a whimper that seemed to mimic the bunny's own. His fluffy tail wagged gently, a gesture of friendship and reassurance. The bunny paused, its tiny nose twitching uncertainly, but it didn't run. It was as if it sensed Milo's intentions. Milo took a few hesitant steps closer, and when the bunny didn't flinch, he knew he was making progress. Milo's sharp eyes scanned the park, his little brain trying to piece together a plan. With the utmost care, the Pomeranian nudged the bunny with his nose, gently herding it out of the bush. The bunny hesitated, but Milo stayed by its side, his soft coat brushing against the bunny's fur as if to say, "I'm here. I'll protect you." Together, they ventured across the expansive park, avoiding the crowds and sticking to the quieter trails. At one point, a larger dog spotted them and began to approach, its eyes locked on the bunny. Milo stood his ground, barking fiercely despite his small size. His fluffy fur puffed up, making him look bigger than he actually was. The larger dog hesitated, confused by Milo's boldness, before trotting off in a different direction. The bunny pressed closer to Milo, its trust in him growing. After what felt like an endless journey, Milo's nose caught a familiar scent, earthy and damp, like freshly dug soil. He barked excitedly, guiding the bunny toward a small, hidden burrow beneath a patch of wildflowers. The bunny's ears perked up, and its tiny feet quickened as it dashed into the safety of its home. From within the burrow, more tiny noses and twitching whiskers emerged. It was the bunny's family, their eyes filled with relief as they nuzzled the little one. Milo sat a few feet away, his work complete, watching the reunion with satisfaction. His tail wagged slowly, his own version of a proud smile. A soft voice called from the distance. It was Milo's owner, searching for her runaway pup. Milo gave one last happy bark as if to say goodbye before trotting back to his human. As he disappeared into the park's winding trails, the bunny peeked out of the burrow, its fear replaced by gratitude. That day, amid the chaos of Cherry Grove Park, a small Pomeranian had taught the world that kindness knows no boundaries, not of size, species, or fear. And as Milo's fluffy tail disappeared into the distance, the bunny's family knew they had found an unlikely guardian and a friend.